Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Allie.
And this is But Have You Tried from the David A. Howe Public Library.
Here we are again.
Happy summer reading,
Happy
Allie.
summer reading.
There's an anticipatory feeling.
Yeah. Exactly what the anticipatory feeling is.
It's a good theme.
Who could say?
It's a good theme.
It is a good theme. And they're not all good themes. So we gotta.
That's right.
We gotta rejoice when we've got a good theme.
The decorations look great. You know, we've got the dino footprints. We got the big giant dinosaurs. It's a very dino-heavy theme this year, which is a lot of fun, and I think people are going to enjoy. It's going to be a wild 6 weeks.
It is.
Do you have a favorite part of the summer reading program? Like, what do you like to see?
So, like, for the teen program, we have that whole, like, big reading tracker thing in the YA room, and I enjoy seeing the kids, like, move their things up and, like, they get higher and higher as the summer goes. That's fun to me. No,
that is fun. I like to see, especially with the teens, the ones that are, like, really into it, you know, who were like, we got to move this tracker, we got to win, Team Yellow.
Exactly.
So, my son, I think
my
he was on Team Yellow last year, which did not win, and he took it hard. He's like, when can I start tracking? Can audiobooks count? He's in it to win it. So
good.
Look out.
That's the energy I like to see.
I
also like doing outdoor events because for so much of the year, of course, here in New York, where it's like, 75% of the year is winter.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
That's not possible. But during the summer, I'm like, we can do some stuff outside. And that's, I don't know. That's
fun
to
I
me.
use that as an example. I was recently interviewed by Brian Hildreth, who's the director of the Southern Tier Library System. He's been interviewing different directors, and he asked me about a program or an initiative that we were excited about. And I used you as an example for the teen program, specifically the Friday before we recorded, you and Justine had moved the Friday Club outside. And you guys were just like out on the lawn, and I was walking to a meeting somewhere, and it was just this like amazing different groups of teens like spread all around, just like doing their own thing. Like some of them were working together, some of them were just like communally like looking at their phones, some of them were like, reading or playing games. And I just thought, like, what an amazing thing.
Yeah, that was a really cool day, and I was having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I often enjoy like teen programs, but also like, I'm not the one like being a teen and having fun. Like if I'm not enjoying it, that's fine. But like sometimes I feel like the dynamic is just really good, and like we're outside and like we're playing cornhole, and I was just like, this is a good time. This is a good day.
I mean, I went to a cool public library when I was a kid, and I have zero memories of chilling with a bunch of teenagers on the lawn in front of that library. Do you? Did that ever happen for you? It'd say no. It makes a better story.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, that's good. So anyway, congratulations on
thank
your happy teens that are hanging out at the library. I read a YA book, as you may recall.
Yes.
I read the first of the Vesper. I always want to say Vesper Lind, but that's a James Bond character, and that's not what we want. Vesper Holly. Vesper Holly series.
That James Bond character, is that the one who's in Casino Royale?
Sure is.
Because I remember that and being like, wait, that name, it's familiar.
Yep.
But yes, Vesper Holly.
So I've got some facts for you, but I'm curious, like, how did this come about? Where did you discover this? Why do you like it? And so forth.
Well, Lloyd Alexander is definitely an author that's been like a family favorite for a long time.
Okay.
And before I ever read Vesper Holly, we as a family read the series. I think it's The Chronicles of Pride, and it's the series title.
Okay.
And it's like there's a magical pig who predicts the future, and kind of like a Aragorn-y Kingleaf sort of figure, and like the pig herd who accidentally goes on this magical adventure instead of, whatever. That's one of the earliest like chapter kind of books that I remember not reading to myself, but like having read to me.
Okay.
And I was like really obsessed with them to the point that I named my piggy bank after the magical pig.
Pretty good.
And so like that was just like something we all really enjoyed. And then I don't remember exactly how Vesper Holly came into it, but I assume my dad was like looking for more books by the same author and then was like, oh, these look fun. I bet we could read these. And so we started reading these, and I mean, it was just like, I feel like kind of a perfect storm of like the narrative voice is like funny and the main character is like really cool and like a really cool girl character who gets to do cool things. And like, that's not always a given. Yeah.
It was like Vesper Holly and Pippi Longstocking were about the only characters from this era.
And just like some of the like archaeology and stuff, like that was a really big interest for me at that time. I would like dig up like fossils in our yard and like.
Would you unearth a story?
You could say that I would
like the theme
unearth
of our
a
summer
story.
reading program.
I think I still have some fossils that I like found when I was like 6 or 7 and was like, this is for sure a prehistoric animal.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of like where that initiate, and then it was just like, I don't know, it's just like kind of on the list of like family classics of like sort of a shared library of like stuff that we have all read and enjoy and reference. So yeah, just, I don't know, something I've appreciated for a long time.
Well, when I started reading it and it was describing Vesper, it was like, she's whip smart and fancy, but adventurous and a little firecracker and a little rascal. I was like, I think I understand why Allie is appealed by this series.
Well, I feel like, when you're like a small girl child who like, whatever, likes to be smart and fancy, but also like dig around. Like, I don't know. It's like all the things you want to be, I feel like is what Vesper is.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you some facts about it before I tell you what I think about it.
I don't actually know that many facts about it, so this will be enlightening.
Okay. Well, this will be a learning opportunity for you. All right. Lloyd Chudley Alexander. So starting strong with that Chudley.
Starting really strong with that Chudley.
Chudley. Lloyd Chudley Alexander lived from 1924 to 2007 and wrote more than 40 books, primarily in the junior and young adult ranges. He's best known for his Chronicles of Prydain series. Does that sound right?
I don't know if it's Prydain or Prydain. Okay. I think I've always said Prydain, but I have no way to know
Chronicles
that that's correct.
Chronicles of Prydain series, which were loosely adapted into the Disney film The Black Cauldron. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know about that, and I think we might have watched that when I was a kid. That's the second book, and I was always like, why are you adapting the second book?
Right.
That's a weird choice.
Yeah.
It's a really good book. Like, that one it's a standout book, but like, why are you adapting the second book?
I think it is a pretty loose adaptation of the first two.
That makes sense.
The first book, I can't remember what it's called. It's like the
Book of Three.
Yeah, the Book of Three. I mean, that's not a good name for a movie. The Black Cauldron.
Yeah, I guess the Book of Three, it doesn't have quite that cinematic appeal. It's cool when you read it because there's a book in the world named the Book of Three. So it's
that makes sense.
It's like a little meta moment.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch The Black Cauldron as a kid. I was anything like witchy or witch adjacent. I was not allowed. Magic in general. So I didn't watch it as a kid, and I just have never gotten to it as an adult. So now maybe I need to watch it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones that like it wasn't a huge hit, but has like a cult following.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of like a sleeper situation.
Yeah. The Black Cauldron book was a runner-up for the Newbery Medal in 1966. He won the National Book Award for children's books for his Marvelous Misadventures of Sebastian, and then won the proper National Book Award for his Westmark series. Familiar with these?
I think I have read some of the Westmark series.
Okay. The Vesper Holly series consists of 6 books published from 1986 to 2005, though the first 5 books were published in pretty like one a year sort of, and then you had like a couple of decades, and the Xanadu Adventure was 2005, shortly before he died. So I don't know, I guess he just had one more Vesper Holly book. Yeah. The books are the Illyrian Adventure, the Eldorado Adventure, the Drakensberg Adventure, the Judera Adventure, the Philadelphia Adventure, and the Xanadu Adventure. Which of these have you read?
All of them.
Nice.
It's been a while since I've read most of them, but I have read all of them.
I'm just curious, when you have something like this where one is 2 decades after the previous one, is the Xanadu Adventure good? Do you recall?
I remember it being just as good.
So it doesn't stand out that it's like
I think that one, though, it is like set a little later.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give spoilers, but there's like a few status quo changes.
Ah, okay. All right.
But I remember being fine with the status quo changes. But I have to say, when we were watching Citizen Kane for this podcast not long ago, and there's the whole thing about Xanadu, I was like, Xanadu?
Yeah.
Because that's like the only, I feel like, other like Xanadu thing that I like.
I was thinking Olivia Newton-John in the 80s.
That would probably make more sense.
Xanadu. Okay. The series follows Vesper, as we said, going on adventures with her caretakers, Aunt Mary and Uncle Brinny. And Uncle Brinny is the narrator, which I think is a fun plot point right from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes the formats because he's sort of commenting on it. It reminded me a little, just in that you have one character commenting on the other the whole time, of Jeeves and Wooster in that way. Because you have these characters with a close relationship, and you're seeing kind of the main character or whatever, like through the lens of its foil. So
I think it would be a very different book if it wasn't narrated by Brinny.
I think that's what sells it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it would just feel
otherwise it would just be like, woo, we're having an adventure. But this way it's like, I don't know, there's a certain like cleverness and like innate humor to it that I don't think would come through otherwise.
I think that's what helps it feel less like a book for children.
Yeah.
Because it's from the perspective of an adult who's talking about. So I think that's like a little something for the parent, and I really do think it adds to the agelessness of it, because it works either way, if you're a kid or if you're an adult sort of looking at it through that lens. Vesper's father was an eccentric archaeologist who went missing on an expedition, and she decides to follow in his footsteps. So
Pretty
there you go.
exciting.
Yeah. You told me to read the Illyrian Adventure,
Yes.
which I did. I heeded your advice. Here is the plot synopsis of this. It's 1872, and adventurous Vesper Holly and her guardian set out for the tiny country of Illyria on a quest for its legendary treasure. But once Vesper and Brynny arrive, they're plunged into a fierce struggle between rebel forces, and someone is out to kill the two of them. If anyone can triumph over those kinds of odds, it's Vesper, one of Lloyd Alexander's most intrepid and best-selling heroines. So I read our hardcover copy here. It had the newer covers of this try to make it look a little bit more hip. And this
the old covers are very old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the one, the Storygraph cover that I settled on was one that they're clearly going for like an Indiana Jones look, like that classic poster.
With I think there even is kind of like a cool hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're thinking of the one I'm thinking
so,
of.
I mean, it's just, it's the galloping horse. It's the, people in profile. It's just a classic, like Drew Struzan-esque cover, which I thought was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Good.
I really thought it was fun. I was reading this and just thinking about, like, first of all, I mean, one page in, I was like, yes, absolutely. This is one of Allie's favorites, of course it is, So that made perfect sense to me. But I really feel like had I read this when I was that age, I would have just devoured this series because it was really fun. And I thought that, it's not just, that Brynny is narrating it, but there is something about it that feels all ages.
Very much.
Not in a corny way. Because, I mean, I like junior level books.
Right.
Sometimes I'll pick one up still and read it and have a good time. And you just kind of like, it's made for a different age. But something about this, I felt like it really had this, it really walked this fine line of not like talking down or not being like, this is a story for children.
Right.
While still being like light and fun, but you had like real peril and adventure, and like it felt like there were actual stakes, like maybe people could die, maybe they wouldn't, maybe they wouldn't figure this out or whatever. It felt much more of a full experience, I think, than sometimes books of this era did. This is the kind of book that like I would have like 4th, 5th grade gotten my Scholastic book order and been like, the new Vesper Holly.
Yep.
Definitely would have read that. So I thought it was really fun all around. And I was poking around to see if there were other things adapted from his work, because I thought surely there's got to be something for this, like
it would be so fun.
Yeah.
Like a little series or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sort of feels like it fits along with like an Enola Holmes type of thing, in that it's sort of a traditional like male narrative, like is what it would be at this era.
Right.
It's like it would be most common for a book written in the 80s about an adventureful kid that it would be like a spunky 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I just think they do a really good job of giving her the focus, and I feel like it would be a great movie or series or something like that.
Well, especially because like I hadn't even thought about like the Indiana Jones connection until you mentioned it, but like because that's such a like cultural touchstone, I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know, the like trappings of this kind of story. I feel like it's very familiar and would work very well for a lot of
sure people. Whether intentionally or not, I'm sure this can tie some roots to Indiana Jones.
Probably.
Because this is coming out in the mid 80s, like after Last Crusade was winding down and everything. And I think that concept of like the old serial sort of 1940s kind of adventure was popular again, and it makes sense to tie into that a little bit. And I think definitely the covers are chasing that vibe, or at least that audience. I thought it fit well with the summer reading program too.
Digging stuff up, never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah, that's right. So tell me a little bit about the other stuff that you've read by him.
The other stuff, so the Chronicles of Prydain, that's that we talked about a little bit with the Black Cauldron adaptation. That's more like fantasy, and it's, I don't know, it's like it feels like a fantasy that's like has some more like British Isles roots and isn't just kind of like the very like classic like there's a forest and elves and it's medieval.
I read just a little bit of the Book of Three just to get this. I wanted to sense like a different, and reading Vesper Holly and then reading the first, I don't know, several chapters of Book of Three, I was really surprised to learn that this dude is just like from Pennsylvania.
I know.
It just seems very.
It doesn't
British
feel
to
like
me.
that.
It
Yeah, I know.
seems...
It doesn't feel like that's the case at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something, a really interesting tone to it. And I think it's interesting that, like, in some ways, the Chronicles of Pride and the Vesper Holly books have such a different tone because Brainy's narration is, like, so distinct. But I feel like the kind of, like, adventuresome with some light humor and cleverness to it is sort of consistent between the two of them.
Right, yeah.
There's also a really fun redheaded girl character in the Chronicles of Pride who shows up in, I think, the Black Cauldron, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've read those, and those were great. I actually don't know if I ever read the last book in that series because I think I was told that it was sad when I was a small child, and then I never got around to it.
Yeah, that could
so I'll have to revisit. But yeah, I don't know. All of them I feel like there's like such a variety in the genres of them, but at the same time there's like definitely a common feeling to all of them that I think is really fun.
Yeah, I read that the Westmark trilogy, the one he won the National Book Award for, I read that those are pretty, not dark, but just like heavy. You know, there's like a heaviness to them. And that writing that trilogy was a lot of what made him be like, I just want to write something like fun and exciting. And that's kind of, the Vesper Holly sort of came out of writing a heavier, darker series. And he was just like, I just want something fun and adventure. So that sort of spawned that.
Yeah. Well, and I definitely think there's a few things, because again, we read most of these like out loud as a family when I was a kid. And there were some that we would read and we'd be like, that's fantastic. And there's some that we would like start and be like, all right, maybe in a few years we could wait on this one. Yeah. I'm glad you liked it because I really wasn't sure if you were going to. Like, I thought that you should, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I thought that you for sure were going to.
Yeah, I would have gotten through more of them because I wasn't like a lack of interest. It's such a busy time.
I know.
It just took me.
It is. I mean, it's pre-summer reading.
Yes. Even though it's not a long book, I was like.
Also,
oh boy,
I don't know if the ones that I ordered for the collection are here or not yet. I haven't seen them come
No,
in.
I had to put. Well, we had Illyrian, so that's why I grabbed this one.
Right.
And we have Xanadu as well, so I was going to grab that and read it, but I just ran out of time. And I did notice that these are just not available digitally.
Yeah.
Like there's no ebook, there's no audiobook. They seem to just be never ported over to those formats.
Yeah, I know. So. Which, like, I don't know if it's like something about the time when they came out combined with like it's not that they weren't popular, but like I don't know, they weren't like the biggest hit sensation. Maybe they
it's
just
a little bit like the Pride books kind of stayed in, fantasy fans I think still go back to those books and everything. And this seems like maybe not so much, that this never really became like a central piece. But
and I don't know why, because it's great.
I know. Had there been audiobooks, I definitely would have listened to more.
I feel like an audiobook would be so fun too, with like Brainy's narration and everything.
Yeah. You could just have to record it for me. Yeah. You can use the mic and
I'll have to do like an old Philadelphia man voice though. I'm not sure how.
That's right.
Well, I'll have to test it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll work it out. But I do think had there been an audiobook, I would have pounded through more of these because I really did enjoy it, and I could see picking them up again. I have not yet attempted to push this off on my son, but I think that he would really like this
I feel like he really would.
I thought about maybe, like, if I had more time, I think I would have just read this one aloud to everybody because I think that he would enjoy it, and I think, it would have been a relatively quick read if we were doing that. So who knows? Maybe I'll just pick up the next one and force everybody to listen to it.
That sounds good.
And read it. When was the last time you read something by him? Has it been a while?
It has been kind of a while. And I actually realized when I first started working at this job that there's like some short stories or maybe even like picture books that are kind of set in the Pride world. Okay. But they're like just sort of like one-off little fun stories. And I think I might have read one of those, but there's I think a couple more that I haven't read that I really need to read.
So is there one, like, what's the top of your list if you were going to pick one up right now?
Well, I don't know if I read Cole and the White Pig, and that's in the Pride world, but that's like a shorter story.
Okay.
And I need to figure out if I read the last of the Pride series, because that's like really important.
Called The High King.
Yes.
Not The High Kings, which we did an episode about. But
oh, that's true. We did do an episode about The High Kings.
Yeah.
We did. And also, like, I think that I read Westmark, but I'm not certain of that either. Okay. But I'm pretty sure that I have not read The Arcadians, so that would be like a entirely new foray for me.
It could happen.
I know.
It could happen.
It's nice that, like, I don't know, like, I've read a lot of his books, but there's still a fair number that I haven't gotten to. So it's like, I don't know. There's still more to explore.
We had a big bag of donations, and it was like just random stuff that was in there. But right on top was a copy of Jack Finney's Time and Again.
Nice.
Even though I have like multiple copies, part of me is always like, I want it.
Well, so here's my theory. Here's my theory. I'm not a big person for being like, okay, I've got to have the main edition and the special edition and all of that.
Yeah.
But I do feel like sometimes there's value into having like a copy that's nice
Mm-hmm.
and then one that you can like dog ear and like write little annotations and that kind of thing. And potentially separate from that, or could be the same one. I feel like sometimes it's nice to have a nice copy that you hang on to, and then like a copy you don't care about as much that you can lend to friends. And if you don't get it back, it's not a big deal, you know?
Making a lot of sense. I know that I have, forever ago, I found like a first edition Time and Again, like hardcover. I know I have that, but I don't. This was a paperback, and I don't think I have it. And we do have it in the collection, so maybe that's a book sale purchase for this guy.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Sounds like you need it. I do still want to read the second one of that, but it's just been a too many books, too little time situation.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that second book.
I'm just really curious. Like, I don't know. I'm really curious about, like, I think I read the synopsis of it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's an interesting place to go from here.
It is interesting, but I always just am a little, because I love the writing. Like, I love reading the book. It's a good book, but I feel like it sort of spoils Time and Again in a way.
Yeah.
It's just not an ending that needs to be revisited. And so when you revisit it, even if it's good, you know, it's like a Toy Story 4 situation. Do you need it? No. Is it good? Yeah.
I can't even say what the last Toy Story movie is that I watched. Did I watch Toy Story 3? I don't know. There's been so many, it's impossible to say.
I haven't watched the new one, but I did watch Toy Story 4. Toy Story 3 just has this really neat, like, and this is the end. There's nothing more to say or do. And then 4 comes in and kind of, you're like, what are you doing? But it's very successful. It's like an epilogue. So I don't know what's going on with 5.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Toy Story was never, I never had a big like attachment to it. You know, like I enjoyed it, but I never. Well, how do you feel about the Toy Story? I don't know why we're talking about it, but now I want to know.
Well, yeah, we got to get into it. I'm pretty sure that I watched Toy Story 1 and 2 when I was a kid, and I think I liked them, but I wasn't like obsessed.
Right.
So. I
don't know that I would have predicted that keeps coming back for like my entire adult life.
Yeah. But. Yeah, that does kind of surprise me too, honestly. What I was obsessed with though was like the Cars franchise.
I loved the Cars franchise.
Mm-hmm. They're so good. Yeah. And this might be a sign that I have bad taste, but my favorite one is Cars 2.
No, I get that.
I love a fun spy jaunt.
I get that.
Like it's just, and the idea of Mater like accidentally getting like mixed up in like complicated spy shenanigans, like that's impeccable.
But like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't just, it's another race. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't really.
Well, because I feel like I think it's Cars 3. It has a little bit more of that energy, and I'm kind of like that one isn't as strong to me.
Yeah. That one's like about aging and stuff, so maybe you'll appreciate it in another 10 or 20 years. You know, you'll be like, wow, lightning's really going through it.
Once I can't bend down anymore the same way, you know?
No, I loved Cars, and I also really loved A Bug's Life.
I don't know if I watched that one or not. I know there were several bug movies that we watched growing up. I'm not sure which ones because there's a variety of bug movies.
And Ant Bully.
Some of them were traumatizing to me because some of the bugs would like get killed or hurt, and that's just not okay.
Yowza.
I don't know what movie it is. There was some bug movie where some bug gets killed or hurt, and I was like, that's it. All bug movies are off limits forever.
That's traumatizing. Well, I guess we're up to a magic pick for this time.
Oh.
So I'm just going to pull one out of here. What does it say? Eric Mickles. What does that mean?
Who's that? Who it is?
Wait.
Hey, Nick and Allie. I know you like the Vesper Holly series, but have you tried the Jurassic Park film series? And the whole film series.
The film series.
So we could be talking about Jurassic Park 1.
Right.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Or Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. So
there's
I guess
Jurassic Park 4, which is Jurassic World.
Okay, he's in the zone now, so we just got to let him work through
Jurassic Park 5.
Uh-huh.
Jurassic Park 6, otherwise known as Jurassic World 3 or Jurassic World Dominion.
Yep.
Or Jurassic Park 7.
Any minute he's going to run out of steam.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
You get used to it
it's not part
over
of that
the course of 5
Jurassic
years.
World trilogy.
Uh-huh.
So, whatever, it's Rebirth 1?
Yeah.
Have you tried them?
Basically, Eric is like Beetlejuice, but with Jurassic Park. Like, if you say Jurassic Park enough...
If you say the words Jurassic Park,
Eric will just appear. So, this is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot for you to handle, talking to Eric about Jurassic Park. So, I just want you to just ease into it.
Well, I'm really curious about this experience because I've heard about Jurassic Park for like my entire life and like never watched it.
It's just a single tear is rolling down his face right now.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're fixing it.
Yeah.
We're fixing it soon.
I mean, I'm really not one to talk because I didn't see it in theaters as a kid. Like I saw it much later, and so I don't have that nostalgic fondness for it. Where like my wife does, and certainly Eric does. defining moment for him. So you've seen nothing, like none of the Jurassic Worlds, like just absolutely.
I've seen the trailers when I go to see something else in theaters. You know, that's about it.
I have no idea how you're going to feel about this.
I also have no idea how I'm going to feel about this. Like, I feel like it kind of depends how it plays out. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be like really fun and exciting and good, and I'm going to be like, yeah, or is it going to be like, I don't know. Like sometimes movies, it's like if you didn't watch it then, it doesn't feel quite the same. And I could see it going either way. Yeah.
I think that one thing it has going for it is like the effects, you know, but the mix of practical and other. I mean, I think visually it really holds up. So it's just a question of, do you like the story? Does it mean anything to you?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Do you think I'm going to be scared? Am I going to be scared by this?
I don't think scared is the right word. There's some stuff that you're not going to like. That's what I'm going to say. But
is there gore? Am I going to be icked out?
I wouldn't. No, there's not gore that you see, but there's certainly things where you're like, oh, that probably wasn't a pleasant experience once that camera cut away.
Fair enough.
I think you'll be all right.
Well, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about all the things that we're reading and watching as we go through this summer reading program. I'm going to get you to read Jack Kirby's Devil Dinosaur because it's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
And it's so on point. So
yeah, sounds great.
I'm gonna hand that your way. And then in a month, we'll be back with a special summer reading program guest, Eric Nichols, your predecessor.
I know.
Former teen librarian.
I almost feel
Eric
like I know
Nichols.
him. I've heard so much about him.
Yeah,
but we met
true.
once in real life. So
just the one time. Well, I hope you guys don't turn it into competition. Who's the coolest teen librarian? You know, who do I like the best? I wouldn't want any of that. No rivalries. You know,
we'll just have you fill out a little form at the end, rating each of our performance. You know what I mean? Like, who was more fun on the podcast?
Someone says something funny, and I just make a little.
Yeah, exactly. You make a little star on your page. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I'm not going to do that, but I could just say that I'm going to do that, and even though he wouldn't believe me, it would still get in his head.
Oh, no.
So
Eric, I hope you're not listening to this.
No, he never listens, please. As soon as he left, he's like, I'm never listening to that podcast again. You know what? God bless him. All right. Happy summer reading program,
Happy summer reading.
Unearth a story.
Woot!